think it's valuable, even though I know that...
Well, that's the thing. The antinatalist says the only thing that you can put a value on, the only thing that has importance, is the suffering. The pleasure is... There's no pleasure worth the suffering. Like that, I mean, all the carnage, all these years, the pleasure can't make up for all the carnage. There's no pleasure I can think of that would make up for all that carnage.
I will die in pain, and that I will have suffered. And if you ask me,
yeah, because somebody else decided to bring you into the world.
On my deathbed, I don't know what the answer will be. I had a lot of unpleasant times. I had a lot of pleasant times. On the whole, though, I am personally very happy to have lived. And I think that as long as we are pointed towards a goal of reducing suffering...
Well, see, but you can't reduce suffering if you're just increasing suffering. When you procreate, you just create more need. More need, more suffering. And again, there's no amount of pleasure that can make up for all that suffering.
As long as we have in mind a goal of recognizing what the true problem is, and the true problem is not existence, the true problem is the suffering that's associated with existence.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what existence is. You're born into need. You're born into deprivation. If your needs aren't satisfied, there's not going to be any pleasure.
Or the excess thereof, or the unfair system that we perceive as being...
No, it is unfair. It's unfair to arbitrarily, I mean, just because you want you're going to bring somebody into an unfair system. It just is. I mean, it's a roll of the dice. You can't guarantee anything but suffering.
You know, in an unjust scenario, that's the problem. The problem is not the fact that we exist. If we choose to cease to exist, and I mean that in terms of our ability to be parents, if we choose not to have children, then we are depriving the future.
No, you're creating more deprivation for the future. The more you procreate, the more deprivation there will be.
Now, this is not my motivation. I had kids because I loved my wife. I wanted kids.
There you go. He wanted kids. That's basically the only justification. And it's a rationalization for having children. You want children because kids are cute. I mean, a lot of joy of watching my son grow up, but he's going to die. Now, who knows what's going to happen to him? He's already experienced suffering. And all the joy, I mean, right now, he we've asked him, are you sorry you were born? He says no, because I try to make sure his needs are met and he has, nice things, what have you.
I wanted to raise them. I wanted to have, in some sense, a bit of immortality. And I'm not afraid of that selfishness, because my kids...
See, your selfishness is fine, but don't carry your selfishness. I mean, I would like to, I don't know, have sex with practically every woman I see, but I can't just, grab them and take them and satisfy my selfish needs at their expense. And that's when you procreate, you're putting your needs above theirs.
They're going to do great things, even if it is only for their own kids.
So you say that they're going to do great things if only for their own kids. So again, you're saying your kids are going to create more kids so they can satisfy their needs and then pat themselves on the back for satisfying a need they created.
Even if it is only for their neighbors or the people in their city.
Well, see, why can't you do that? Why, if when you had kids, you diverted your time and resources that could have been helped people already here, and that help and resources were diverted to your children. So, you created need, which diverted help you could have put somewhere else.
I think that helping each other through the suffering. I think that a goal of progressing our knowledge, progressing our experience.
Well, see, that's the thing. We've got the knowledge. How much knowledge do you need? Life is suffering. That's the only thing of importance. The pleasure can't. I mean, I've heard SkidRowRadio describe it as you're sitting on a mountain of skulls, drinking your wine, and saying, "Isn't this great? You know, isn't this beautiful?" It's not.
Developing and creating new things that didn't exist before.
Yeah, exactly. You're creating more need. There's no need to create more need.
Is actually a desirable goal. Is it selfish or unselfish? I don't think that.
Yeah, well, no, it matters in the sense that, again, being selfish is no problem with that, but when your selfishness crosses over into a third party, it's a problem.
That's the right question. Is it a worthwhile pursuit or not? And that is a purely subjective call?
No, it's not subjective. It's objective. That's what the antinatalist is saying. The pleasure is not worth all the pain.
Yes, life is addictive, but I think it also is something that we can see value in.
Well, yeah, we can. The value is in suffering. It's negative value. And I had some notes I wrote down about parenting. I'll just read it here. Okay, I will be the one that my son can always count on. And that's true. However, if it's such a good thing, why stop? Why don't I just keep having children? Well, I mean, the antinatalist says don't have children in the first place, but yeah, if you're a natalist, why stop having kids if it's such a good thing? I think that's it. Well, yeah, I said, no. I wrote these down, but I don't think... Well, maybe I should... when I'm arguing with natalists, I find myself... It's like I'm arguing with a theist. The theist has nothing. It's a notion in their head. And the natalists also have a notion in their head that procreating is a good thing, when it's not. You're just creating more need. You're making the mountain of skulls bigger. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Thanks.